Well, hello, welcome back to another stained canvas. Today I am going to be working in my Wreck This journal and I'm going to be doing the color this entire page spread. First off, I cover the entire 2 pages with gesso because I'm going to be doing a mixed media piece on this one. And I want to be sure that the page can hold up to all the things I want to do with it. The only thing that I do to apply the gesso is I'm just using an old Tim Hortons gift card. It's nothing fancy, nothing special. I mean, if you maybe have a stiff playing card, that may work as well. Whatever you want. To speed up the drying of the gesso, though, I did use a blow dryer. I just cut out that because, I mean, that's boring, right? And then I go in with some cerulean blue and titanium white. I want to do the sky, but I don't want the sky to be very smooth. I want to be able to see all the brush strokes and I want to see that, the colors are not blended completely together. That I find that makes a very interesting sky that way without really having to do a lot of work to it, because you're going to apply the blue anyways. You may as well do small little strokes with it and kind of like almost scribble on your paint, right? And mix it on the actual paper. So like I have a lot of white and blue in this, but like if I want to darken a section, I'll just pick up some blue, or if I want to lighten it, I'll pick up some white and I'll mix it right directly onto the page there. And it just makes it so much more interesting to look at. I also go in with a bit more of a darker kind of a blue because I want to kind of insinuate that there's maybe a big old cloud in there somewhere. So I will go in and darken around kind of where I think a cloud should be. And you see me doing that right here. And then also what I do with it is I go in after this. It's still somewhat wet. I let it dry for a little tiny bit and then I go in with some of my greens. But with my greens, I don't actually use my paintbrush or anything like that. I use my palette knife because I want some sharp edges. I'm trying to make it as though it's grass or some kind of plant life. And plant life, far away, sure, it looks soft, but up close, like if you're super up close to it, you can see all the little jagged edges and things like that with it. And I just go in with my palette knife, and then once I have the initial stuff down with my palette knife, I move around the paint with this silicone kind of paint pusher thing. It's not a catalyst because I have one of those and they're just too large, so I found these smaller silicone rubbery pushers and they're wonderful. I like my smaller ones. And then I go in with sap green, olive green. I think I use a little bit of hooker's green in here. There's not much darks. If I do use a dark, I never ever use black. I always use Payne's gray. There may be a little bit Payne's gray at the very bottom of this green zone here, mixed with a kind of a green color to, make it a green. And then what I end up doing is I will add some lights to it. So I go in with my yellow ochres and a little bit of my raw sienna, and I'm just insinuating that there are some flowers in this grassy area here. I'm not going in and doing all the petals or all the parts of the flower. I'm just putting in the colors and making sure that they pop. And they will pop because you're putting a light color on top of a dark color. So when you have dark and light together, they are very contrasting. So, your eye goes there right away. I add only about four, maybe three or four. Yeah, four of them. Add with the raw sienna and the yellow ochre, and then I just leave some kind of yellow ochres kind of in the grassy zone. So like we're looking through the grass at another flower, but we can't kind of see any of the flower. It just gives some really great values to those areas. My next step, what I end up doing is I want the grassy zone to be more wispy and more leafy and more just a little bit more wild. So I will go in with the charcoal sticks. I have a white one and a black one. And I even try a vine charcoal. I don't really know if I like the vine charcoal for this because it kind of scratches into the paint, which also gives a really nice texture. So if you're into that, that's great. And then also I go over top of the flowery parts with a yellow ochre and a raw sienna in the oil pastels and regular pastels, because I want to give like little, I want it to look really interesting without being very detailed as to what it is. You could tell what it is, that's a flower, but it doesn't need to be super detailed about it. That's, it's what it is, a flower. I'm also going to go in with just continuing trying to make this really super interesting and make it really like, wow, like there's a lot of work put into this. And I go over some of the greens also with the oil pastels, and I have soft pastels in the greens as well. And I really enjoy how this turned out. It was a lot of fun to make. I'm so into making these grassy things right now. And yeah, so here's the final piece of art. I hope you like it. I hope you try it too. It's a lot of fun to make. Just get loose with it and have a blast. Just try and loosen up and try new things, try new art mediums together. So, bye, till next time.